All right, history hunters, welcome back to the History Hunt, where we dig deep into the mysteries that time has tried to bury. Today, we're venturing into one of the most baffling disappearances in history, the lost colony of Roanoke. For centuries, this story has whispered through the ages, leaving us with more questions than answers. Get ready to have your mind blown as we uncover 10 of the most intriguing and often overlooked details surrounding this 400-year-old enigma. Lean in close, because this is going to be good. Imagine this. Governor John White finally returns to Roanoke Island in 1590 after a long and arduous journey back from England. He's filled with anticipation, eager to reunite with the over 100 men, women, and children he left behind. But what greets him is a ghost town. Houses stand empty, belongings are untouched, and there's an unsettling silence hanging in the air. No broken weapons, no signs of a desperate fight, no hastily dug graves. It's as if the colonists simply vanished. Think about it. Over 100 people, gone without a trace of conflict. Where did they go? Did they leave peacefully? Or was something far more sinister at play, something so swift and absolute that it left no evidence behind? This lack of violence is perhaps the most chilling detail of all, a silent scream echoing through the centuries. The only clue Governor White found was the word CROATOAN carved into a post of the palisade and CRO, etched into a nearby tree. For generations, the accepted theory has been that the colonists moved to CROATOAN Island, now Hatteras Island, about 50 miles to the southeast. White had even instructed them to carve a Maltese cross if they left under duress. But what if CROATOAN wasn't a message of hope? What if it was a warning? Perhaps they were forced to relocate by hostile forces, and CROATOAN was the name of the tribe or the place they were taken to, not a destination of their own choosing. Could it have been a sign of danger, a desperate marker left by people with no control over their fate? It's a chilling possibility that makes that single word far more ominous than we ever imagined. Governor White's instructions were clear. If the colonists were forced to leave due to trouble, they were to carve a Maltese cross above their departure message. The absence of this symbol is deafening. Does it mean they left Roanoke Island willingly, perhaps seeking better resources or integration with a friendly Native American tribe? Or could it suggest something far more disturbing? Maybe their departure was so sudden, so chaotic, that they didn't have the chance to leave any signal at all. Perhaps the force that took them was so overwhelming that any attempt at communication was impossible. The missing Maltese cross hangs over the mystery like a silent question mark, leaving us to wonder if their leaving was a choice or a consequence of something truly dreadful. Fast forward centuries, and a series of inscribed stones, known as the Dare Stones, began to surface in the 1930s. These stones allegedly tell a heartbreaking tale penned by Eleanor Dare, Governor White's daughter and the mother of the first English child born in America, Virginia Dare. The inscriptions speak of disease, hardship, and ultimately a massacre. Imagine holding a stone that could have been touched by someone from the lost colony, a direct message from the past. However, the authenticity of these stones has been fiercely debated by scholars. Are they genuine artifacts offering a tragic solution to the mystery? Or are they elaborate forgeries, cleverly crafted to deceive? The Dare Stones add another layer of intrigue, a tantalizing possibility that could either solve the riddle or lead us further down a false path. For over 400 years, archaeologists have combed Roanoke Island and the surrounding areas, hoping to unearth some physical evidence of the lost colonists. But despite extensive digs, no confirmed human remains or graves from the late 16th century English settlement have ever been found. It's an astonishing fact. Where are they? Did they indeed integrate with local Native American tribes, their bones now indistinguishable from their adopted people? Or did they venture so far inland that their final resting places remain undiscovered, hidden beneath layers of earth and time? The absence of physical remains only deepens the mystery, fueling speculation about their ultimate fate and the vastness of the unknown. England and Spain were bitter rivals in the late 16th century, locked in a fierce competition for global power. Roanoke was an English attempt to establish a foothold in North America, a move that surely wouldn't have gone unnoticed by the Spanish in Florida. Could the Spanish have secretly attacked and eliminated the colony to remove this English threat? It's a compelling theory, one that adds a layer of international intrigue to the story. However, the lack of any Spanish records boasting about such a victory is perplexing. The Spanish were not known for their modesty. Would they really have wiped out an entire English colony and kept it a secret? This silence from the usually boastful Spanish Empire makes this theory a tantalizing but ultimately unproven possibility. Here's where things get really weird. The word CROATOAN seems to pop up in other mysterious disappearances throughout history. Legend has it that Edgar Allan Poe muttered, "Lord help my poor soul," and then CROATOAN on his deathbed. And some accounts, though lacking solid proof, suggest that Amelia Earhart wrote CROATOAN in her journal before her own disappearance. Could this be mere coincidence? Or is there some unknown, perhaps even supernatural connection to this enigmatic word? These strange echoes across time add an eerie dimension to the Roanoke mystery, hinting that perhaps we're dealing with something far beyond simple historical events. In 2012, a fascinating discovery was made. Researchers using ultraviolet light on a map drawn by John White, known as La Virginia Pars, found hidden fort symbols beneath later paper patches. This suggests that the colonists may have planned or even moved to a secret inland fort location. Could this hidden symbol point to their true destination? Did they abandon the coastal settlement for a more defensible or resource-rich area inland? This revelation offers a tangible clue, a potential path for future archaeological investigations that could finally lead us to the lost colonists. Imagine them packing their belongings, leaving the familiar coast behind, and venturing into the unknown interior based on a prearranged plan. Several Native American tribes in the region, most notably the Lumbee of North Carolina, have oral traditions claiming descent from the lost colony. Some even have European surnames that date back to the time of the settlement. Could the colonists have integrated into these tribes, intermarrying and adopting their ways? While genetic studies have so far been inconclusive, the persistence of these stories and the unique cultural elements within these tribes offer a compelling possibility. Perhaps the lost colonists weren't entirely lost, but rather absorbed into another culture, their English identity slowly fading into the tapestry of Native American life. Finally, some scientists propose a more natural, albeit devastating explanation. Could a powerful hurricane or a series of severe storms have swept over Roanoke Island, destroying the settlement, killing the colonists, and burying any remains under layers of sand and water? The Outer Banks of North Carolina are prone to violent weather. A catastrophic storm could have erased almost all traces of the colony, leaving archaeologists with nothing to find. It's a sobering thought that the answer to this enduring mystery might lie not in human actions, but in the unforgiving power of nature. So there you have it, 10 of the most intriguing and often overlooked aspects of the lost colony of Roanoke. This isn't just a historical footnote, it's a captivating puzzle that continues to challenge our understanding of the past. What do you think happened to the lost colonists? Share your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into history's mysteries, make sure to subscribe to the History Hunt for more fascinating stories and forgotten tales. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next expedition into the unknown. Thanks for joining me today, fellow history hunters. Until next time, keep digging.